Find the product of 6/5 and 3/4. Remember, product is the answer to multiplication problems. We will be multiplying these two fractions. The first thing I notice is 6/5 is an improper fraction, which means the numerator is greater than the denominator. So I will have to use two pieces of paper when I'm folding, and when I go to sketch, I'll need to have two boxes representing the two holes. To start, I'm going to fold my paper into fifths since my denominator in my improper fraction is fifths. To fold fifths, I like to eyeball where I think 1/5 will be, crease that, and then fold my paper in half, crease, and fold it in half again. Make sure you fold the creases and press on them really tightly. And when I open up my hole, I have fifths, and I'm going to trace the folds so I can see those easily. And I will repeat that process with my other one. So again, eyeball where I think about 1/5 will be, fold that and crease it, fold the other side of the paper to meet that crease, and then fold the paper in half one more time. It's important to trace the lines so that we can see them easier, especially as we add color. Sometimes those folds get hard to differentiate. So since I have 6/5, that requires one of my holes to be completely shaded in. And one more fifth on my next hole. Since I folded vertical lines this time, I need to now fold horizontally in order to show 3/4 on these holes. So I will fold my paper in half and in half again. So instead of my hole being split into fifths, it is now split into 20ths. And again, tracing those folds will help me see that we have 20ths. Since we have 5 columns of 4 rows, 5 times 4 is 20. Same thing, folding it horizontally so that my, kind of like that checkerboard pattern when I'm showing all of my folds. And now I need to shade in 3/4 for both of these holes. So I will shade in, again, those horizontal lines. And then the same thing, it's important that we shade the entire hole, not just where the blue part is. So now as I'm looking at this, I'm looking for the area, the overlap for each of my holes. And I see that I have this section here, and then 3 more units down here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across by 3. So when we find the area, that'd be 5 times 3, which is 15. And then I have 1 by 3 down here, so that is 3 more units. So that will give me 15 and 3 more. So on the back of this one, I'm going to show that 5/5 times 3/4 gives me 15 20ths. Again, that is the area of the overlap where both colors are located. And then on this one, I have 1/5 times 3/4. And as we said, that was 3 of the 20 units. So now when I add these two together, I already have my common denominator of 20ths. So 15 and 3 more is 18. So I will have 18 20ths is the product of 6/5 and 3/4. We can use that same process with a sketch. So again, I will need to have 2 holes since my improper fraction is 6/5. And I like to use lined paper so that I can easily see where those lines are to help me when I go to make my 4ths. But again, I'm going to start with my 5ths. and I'm going to shade in 6 of those. So that will be 1 whole is 5/5 and 1 more. So this is showing me that I have 5/5, and then this is 1/5. And then to show 3/4, I'm going to use the lines that were already on my paper to split my fraction. So now my whole is in 20th, since I have 5 here and 4 here, and 5 times 4 is 20. So 20 will be how many is in each of my holes. And I need to shade in 3/4 of my whole. And we're looking for that nice green color as the area of the overlap. So here I have multiplied that by 3/4. And here I multiplied 1/5 by 3/4. And as we discovered with our folding, that gave us an area of the overlap that we had 20ths as our whole, and we had 3 by 5, and 3 times 5 is 15. And the area of our overlap over here was 1 by 3, and so that would be 3/20ths. And when we add 15/20ths and 3 more 20ths, that gives us 18/20ths. And it's important to notice that when we are multiplying fractions, our product is less than our factors. Since we started with a fraction that was greater than 1, and we are ending with a product that is less than 1, since we don't have enough 20ths to make 1 whole. So a fraction times a fraction is going to give us a product that is less than our factors.